thought about making music, but you didn't have the expensive equipment or the studio space? Well, I'm here to tell you that in 2025, you really don't need any of that. All you need is your phone and a few tools.
Connection established.
All I gotta do is put my mind to this shit.
Hey, what is up, y'all? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my musical playground where music is always in motion. If you are new here, hey, I'm Kelandri, and if not, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can create music right from your phone without the fancy mics and the fancy computer and the software and all of that. If you're a beginner and you want to know how you can create music, this video is for you. Your smartphone is a powerful tool for you to create music on. Phones now have the power to run software that allows you to edit, create, mix and master your music. Your phone can do it all. One thing you'll need is some type of software. And whether you have an iPhone or an Android, GarageBand is a great option. Here's the setup for GarageBand. You have keyboard, you have the drums, the amp, we can do plugins and audio recorder, strings, bass, guitar, world, drummer, and external. And here is where you have access to live loops and where you would start your new track. It's free. It has plenty of instruments that you can use and implement into your music. And it's super user-friendly for beginners. You have BandLab, and BandLab is also a free software that you can use for iPhones and Androids. Here is the layout for BandLab, which is personally my favorite because it's so community-based and it's a place where creatives like you and I can come together and show our work. We're now looking at the discovery page. And the beats page, where you can purchase beats that you like and that you want to work with. To create a song, you would need to hit that plus button in the middle and open up the studio. And you have all these options. That's mostly what I use to create mostly all of my songs. I use BandLab. And so far it has been the best app for me. instrumentals or the soundtrack for it. I usually purchase mine, but how these apps work is, and like GarageBand and BandLab, is that they offer you these tools that you can use whether you are trying to produce or if you're just adding your layers or your vocals. Is they give you those options. You can also insert a track if someone makes you a track, if you made the track, if you want to create a track. There are some options there for you in regards to that. I don't want to say that it's like super easy, but again, it is beginner friendly, and I didn't need to go look at any videos on how to do this and how to do that. Everything is pretty self-explanatory. The way you use these apps basically is that you insert your track, then you add your vocals, you mix and you master, and then you export. That is a simple form of the way to use GarageBand or BandLab. So, as a singer, artist, musician, a couple tips that I would give is to start small. Try not to finish a whole album, one sitting. Even the whole song, if that is overwhelming. Like, start small. Get used to using these apps. If you're into, creating, I would say experiment. Experiment with different sounds and experiment with creating different sounds. GarageBand and BandLab have presets, so you can also use that as well. Here are a few beginner mistakes, and I don't want to say mistake. I just don't want. I want hiccups. Beginner hiccups is that when you are, and I had this issue, and sometimes I still have this issue. Not gonna lie, but when you're creating, you're sometimes like you overlay the music or your vocals. Like, it's just too much going on, and that's where your practice in mashing the sound comes together. Sometimes you have to take out that tenor note or that whatever note. Sometimes you gotta take out that note because it's sounding like a lot and it's not mixing properly, or it's not sounding the way that you want it to sound. So that's a hiccup. Another thing is your practice, especially if you're trying to actually produce. Like, these things take time, and you wanna carve out the time to practice doing things so that you can be better at them. And that's just as simple as that. Another thing, skipping the basics. Don't skip those, because we're trying to rush to get to a certain place, and you're missing some of the fundamentals of the creative process, and it does more harm than help. So just trying to do that. One tip that I have for staying motivated is to join other communities, whether they are on Facebook, whether they're on YouTube, so that you can get feedback. Like, share some of your work, so you can get feedback on like how you can make it better or what you can do differently. I know people are sensitive when it comes to their art, so like, but still be open to hearing what people have to say, because at the end of the day, as an artist, as a singer, we are appealing other people. You know what I mean? We're not making music for ourselves, so it is important that you know how people think, how people feel. there's an audience for everybody. So obviously everybody is not going to like your music, and that is totally fine, because you will find your people when you continue to create, and you continue to figure out what you like to create, like what type of music that you like to do. Like for me, I like to create all types of music, to be honest. I love to dabble in pretty much everything. Okay, I should say the most that I do is like R&B, soul, Afrobeats, that type. But at the end of the day, like, you do not have to put yourself in a box. If you like to create classical music, create that classical music. If you like to create that country music, create that country music. Like, do you, because you have to, because you're the artist, but at the same time, just still remembering that, okay, like, I am still trying to appeal to an audience. What you need is your phone, the headphones, and an app to help you mix and master the music. Now we want to go into like, now publishing music, putting it out there. What distributor should you use? All those sorts of things. I do have a few in mind. I personally use DistroKid. There are others too that you can use. But in terms of actually creating, do not let you not having the money to go to a studio stop you from making music. Because if music is what you love to make and what you love to do, you will find a way to do it. What else? Like, you can create a mini home studio too. I'm gonna do a video on that, because I do have a very mini home studio, and even I am still working on getting certain things so that I can make music the way that I want to. Even though I'm going to backtrack on what I just said, because at the end of the day, like, even without certain things, like, I am still able to produce. I'm still able to make music, and and it come out the way that I want it to come out, and it come out nice. So I don't want anyone to feel discouraged about creating. And it's 2025, so I feel like, and we all should know that there's something out there for pretty much everything that you could probably think of. Mostly, I should say. But in terms of like music and the industry, it's always evolving. I think the biggest thing that I would advise is you not to be discouraged by what you do see other people doing. You might feel like, okay, you're putting in the work, and you're not seeing certain results. Don't get discouraged. Continue to create, because that's what you love to do. I am talking to the people who want to create and who want to start, and maybe it's daunting, and maybe it's challenging, and maybe you feel alone, but I'm here to tell you that you're not. It might be challenging, it might even feel a little daunting, but you're not alone. Like, I am human just like you, and I have moments I'm discouraged, or I'm like, shit, another day. But the thing is, I love creating music. If you love it, you're gonna do it. And we're talking about creating music in 2025, really just from your phone. People are too, like, we wanna, I don't know, we're trying to compete, and we are to a degree, we are competing. Being in an industry is competitive, and that really is not just with music. Honestly, that is in the arts in general. But that does not make your work, does not make what you do any less valuable, or special, or great. We just have to push ourselves and do it anyway. Because if you love it, you should do it. And that's it. Like, eventually, it will be where you want it to be. But again, in order for you to do that, you gotta do the work. So don't be afraid to make that song that's in your head that you sing over and over again. That poem that you write that you want to turn into a song, or those thoughts that you have, those experiences that you have that you know would be a bomb-ass song. Don't let not having access to a studio or not having certain equipment stop you from creating the song, because you can do it. There are tools, there are free tools that you can use to create. The world needs you. The world needs your voice, your lyrics, your passion, your art. And so that is really all that I have to say about that. So if you enjoyed this video, my little tips, not a pro, I am like you, just motivating you to do what you already love to do. So if you want to see more content from me, if you want to see other things that I have in store, hit that post notification bell and subscribe, and comment down below what you use as a singer, or as an artist. What apps do you use? Whether you pay for them, whether they're free, on your phone. What do you use? How does it work for you? I love to hear from you. I hope this video helps someone, inspires someone to just do it and just create that song. And don't let anything stop you. So, see you in the next video.